Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name's Ruby, I'm 22, I live in New York City, and this is my lifestyle channel. I post a ton of beauty content, vlogs, health and wellness videos, so if any of that sounds like it's something up your alley, be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. We are trying to reach 6,000. That is the next goal here for this channel. You guys, we are getting so close. I post new videos 3 times a week, so there's always new content to binge, but it would mean the world to me if you would click that subscribe button and join the family and help us keep growing. Today we have a fitness video, which I am so excited for. I have been planning out this video for the last few days, gathering my notes, being a really good YouTuber and like really prepping for this. I have my phone next to me with all of my notes. Whether you know me in real life or you just know me on the internet, you know that cycling is a huge part of my life and my fitness routine. It is something that I'm very passionate about. I've taken classes at multiple different cycling studios with multiple different companies, also in quite a few different states. I've taken in New York, I've taken in LA, I've taken in Nashville. I've been riding for about, I guess, close to like 4 years now, which is pretty insane. Currently, I actually don't take at a studio. I ride in my apartment gym because we have a couple Peloton bikes. So not only does it save me money, but I'm kind of at the point where I can keep myself motivated and also kind of like make my own class. But now that the world is slowly kind of reopening and a lot of group fitness studios are opening again, I thought that it would be really helpful to make this video for anybody who's been interested in starting their indoor cycling journey. And so in today's video, we're gonna be talking about your first cycling class, everything that you need to know, all of my tips and tricks, how to make sure that you walk into your first class just feeling comfortable and as confident as you can. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. This is obviously gonna be a very chatty video, but if you have any questions, additional comments, be sure to leave them down below. But let's get into the video. I wanted to make sure that these tips were gonna be really helpful regardless of like the cycling studio that you're choosing to take classes from. So these tips are gonna be somewhat like general, where you can hopefully apply them to like everywhere you go take a class. My first tip, and this is a big one, it's what I tell any friend or family member who's looking to go to their first like cycling class or just their first like group fitness class, is to go in with an open mind and know that you're not gonna be a 100% that first class. And that is more than okay. Everybody who has gone on a fitness journey was once a beginner and was once like you and was walking into a class with like not really a clue as to what they were doing. But the important thing is you're going, you're pushing yourself, you're trying something new. So just go in with a positive mindset and know that it's probably not gonna all go according to plan, and that is okay. Now, prior to actually showing up for your first class, a really big tip that I have is to go onto the cycling studio's website and see if they have a page where they go through like their main moves that they do on the bike. I'm somebody who really enjoys a rhythmic spin class rather than kind of like being in the saddle the entire time, meaning that there's definitely like usually a lot more choreography that goes on in class. And so a lot of times that means you're doing like crunches on the handlebars while you're pedaling, you're doing push-ups, maybe you're doing like a tap back move where you're out of the saddle. And while again, you're not gonna be a pro your first class, I do think if there's a page on the website where they kind of like demonstrate those moves or at least talk about them, it's really important to kind of like do your research beforehand. Not only is it just gonna help you in general, but it's also gonna help you feel like as confident as you can feel walking into your first class and walking into like a somewhat foreign environment. Now, as far as what to wear and what to bring, I definitely have quite a few tips. Cycling is one of those workouts where you are just going to sweat a lot. And not only that, but typically the room is kept pretty warm. It's not like a hot workout class or anything, but it usually is a little warm just to keep your muscles stretched. Now, because of that, as far as what to bring, it is super important to remember to bring a bottle of water with you and to take sips of that throughout class. Now, you obviously don't want to like chug your water because that could definitely like bring on a side stitch in the middle of class, but taking sips during your class is crucial. You do not want to become dehydrated in the middle of a workout class. Believe me, we have all been there and it is really not fun. Now, as far as what to wear, this is obviously a personal preference. It's gonna be whatever you're most comfortable in, but I would recommend really lightweight fabric, and honestly, like the less clothing the better. In the winter time, I'll usually just wear a pair of full-length leggings and a sports bra, and then in the spring and summer, I'll wear a pair of biker shorts and a sports bra. If you feel more comfortable wearing a top over your sports bra, which is more than okay, I would recommend a really lightweight fabric. I would do a tank top over a t-shirt. If you have cycling shoes, that's great. If you're just trying out your first cycling class, there is no need to go out and invest in a pair of cycling shoes before you know whether or not you enjoy the workout class. But if you have them, bring them, or if a friend has a pair that's in your size, bring them. If not, Pretty much every single studio will have cycling shoes to rent, either for a small fee or for free. So let's talk about when you finally arrive to class. The first thing that I would do is I would introduce yourself to the front desk staff and the instructor, and also let them know that it's your first time. For some reason, I know that for some it can feel a little bit embarrassing to like admit that it's your first class, but again, just remember, we've all been there, including anybody who works at the studio and any of the instructors. They were all once a beginner, and they want to help you, first of all, to make sure that you don't injure yourself, but also to make sure that you feel comfortable and confident. It's also really important to let them know that it's your first time, because then the staff and the instructor can help set up your bike and also talk to you about the proper technique. If your bike isn't set up properly to your height, this can make you far more prone to injuries or riding with improper technique, which is something that you do not want. I also think it's really important to just introduce yourself, because it will help you start creating a sense of community at the studio. A big part of why I love group fitness so much is because of the community that you build and the friends that you make. So many fitness instructors have become really good friends of mine, and not only that, they've introduced me to other people who are now my friends. So don't be shy, say hello, be proud of the fact that it's your first class, because you're there and you're doing something to benefit you. So speaking of setting up your bike and getting familiar with the equipment, let's talk about clipping in and out. So if you don't know, 9 times out of 10 when you go and take a cycling class, you're going to have cycling shoes that clip into the pedals. And that's just for your safety. It's so that your feet don't fly off the pedals and you like flip off the bike. I know that sounds really dramatic. It's very rare that that happens, but it really is just for your safety. Especially in a class where you're pedaling super fast, you don't really want your feet to like get ahead of you and lose control. I've seen a couple cycling classes at like standard gyms where you just put like your own shoes into like a cage on the pedal. But for any cycling studio that only does cycling classes, typically you're gonna be clipping in and out of those pedals. Clipping in and out is something that definitely takes practice. You will not get it on your first class. I have rarely ever met a person who was like, oh yeah, I was able to clip in and out, no problem, my first class. I think it took me about 3 or 4 classes until I could clip in and out confidently. So if you need help, please don't feel embarrassed. Again, raise your hand. The last thing you want to do is not say anything and then class gets started and you're not able to participate. If you need help, one of like the staff members should be able to literally take your foot and help you clip into the pedal. And as far as clipping out, because that can definitely be a little bit trickier, most studios will tell you to literally just take your foot out of the shoe, leave the shoes on the pedal, and a staff member will come and help you take them off. Now, as far as once the class gets going, my biggest tip is writing comes first and choreography comes second. There's gonna be a lot of moves thrown at you. It's gonna be very overwhelming. The most important thing to do is just keep pedaling. Get familiar with the different speeds and the different rhythms, and then your second, third, fourth class, worry about the choreography later. Basically, any instructor will tell you the same thing, and that's again what I tell my friends and family. The important thing is you just keep pedaling. If people are like riding out of the saddle, meaning they're like standing up and riding, and you don't feel comfortable doing that yet, that is more than okay. Keep it in the saddle, avoid injuring yourself, and again, just get familiar with like what you're doing. I know that it can be very tempting your first class to want to just go like full throttle and go 150%. However, it is super, super important to take breaks during class if your body is telling you that you need to. My first cycling class, I remember I definitely had to take little breaks here and there. The important thing is you don't rest for too long, because you don't want your body to like go into total relaxation mode. But if you're feeling really out of breath, you feel like you need to take a second for yourself, stop pedaling, take 5 or 10 seconds, get a sip of water, and then keep going. A lot of my friends who are instructors, I've heard them say it time and time again, breaks are actually really recommended, especially when you're brand new, but that's honestly for like any fitness class. If you guys don't know, a couple of months ago, I started my journey taking solid core classes, and they literally said the same thing at the top of my first class. They were like, breaks are encouraged your first class. You're going to need to take them, so please don't feel ashamed, embarrassed. It's literally what you should be doing. And the more you take classes, the better your endurance will be, and eventually you'll be able to like ride a whole 45-50 minute class without really having to take a break. Lastly, but certainly not least, one of my biggest tips is at the end of class, please, please, please remember to stretch your body. Depending on the studio, sometimes the instructor will host like a little 5-minute stretch at the end of class, which I highly encourage you to stay for. But even if they don't, at the end of class, as people are leaving, take like 3 to 5 minutes to yourself. I promise they're not gonna kick you out, and do a little bit of stretching. Not only is it going to prevent you from getting as sore the next day, but again, it's also gonna help you prevent injury. Stretching is so crucial, both before and after a workout, but especially in a cycling class, I find that it is really, really important to stretch after class. And after you take time to stretch, you can walk out of that studio, take your cycling shoes off, and be proud of the fact that you just completed your first cycling class. There you guys have it. Those are all of my tips and little pieces of advice. I really hope that this video was helpful. If you can't tell, I'm just super passionate about like health and wellness and fitness, and so anytime I think of like a video idea that I think could be really beneficial to you guys, I want to film it so bad. If you're a cycling lover like myself and you've been doing it for a couple of years, or if you're super new to cycling, I would love to hear like all of your thoughts in the comments down below. We can get a little conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and again, remember to click that subscribe button. We are trying to reach 6K. That is the next goal here for this channel. Follow me on all of my other social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, where I post daily. You can also follow me on Clubhouse and check out my Amazon shop. The links for everything are always in the description box down below. I love you guys so much. I hope you all are staying safe, happy, and healthy. If you're taking your first cycling class anytime soon, I wish you the best of luck. And again, feel free to message me, whether it's like on this video or on Instagram. I want to hear how it goes. I am more than happy to be your cheerleader and root for you. But until my next video, like I said, I love you all so much, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Okay? Bye, everybody.